Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Sportz Ballz. I'd like to welcome everyone into. We're at an episode I can't even count anymore. Above what I could count, season 1. We're going to talk about radio contests and the athletes that do them. These fucking rugged people. But before that, why don't you hit that glorious intro music for me, Dino? Bam, Sportz Ballz.
Hey, Tim. Nope.
I love the nondescript guitar solo in that.
Hey, Tim,
yeah, it was killer. Who is the band? Who is the band that does our music, man?
Why is this can't unmute your guest because they choose to mute themselves? You're
It's
muting
Neil
yourself.
Miller.
Oh man, they're killer.
There we go.
Jesus. Hashtag great host. I am Tim Loss, the host of Sportz Ballz. If this is any indication what's going to happen, we're going to have a great fucking episode. Thank you all for tuning in. I am your host, redneck correspondent Tim Loss. We got Dino the Genetic Marvel for foreign sports, Bill Queen for alternative sports, and back off house arrest or wherever he's been for the last 3 weeks, we got Gary Becker for combative sports, and we're going to be full of it. We might have a new intro popping in, but until then, it's going to be us four, and we're having a great time. How you guys doing? How was your week? And Happy New Year's to everyone out there.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Merry New Year.
That's all the energy I have too. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I've got no faith in the upcoming year.
We lost Betty White, dude.
Neither did I.
Started.
Me and Dino did 8 hours that day.
You paused like you had a sexual relationship with her, Bill. You're like, don't even get me going, dude.
Well, yeah. Why don't you tell us what happened, Gary? Everybody wants to know how you been since the last time we saw us. Tell us about what's going on.
Well, since my PO came and picked me up from the pot house, I think that was the last time I was on. Was the
Yep.
So, dude, I just been killing it, trying to get booked as many places as I possibly can. In St. Louis, it's not easy. I'm banned from the Funny Bone. I don't know how that fucking happened, but that's cool. I think all good comics have been banned from the Funny Bone at one point in time or the other.
Well, no, you're so good. You actually got confirmation. That doesn't usually happen. They don't usually confirm. They just you actually got confirmation about it all. So that's pretty cool. I don't know. Pretty cool is probably a loose term.
So they have an open mic here in St. Louis at this place called Cusimano's. And when I was growing up, it was like the underage drinking bar, right? So like when you weren't old enough to drink, you just went to Cusimano's at like 15 and they just served you. And I look young now. So if you can imagine a young minor Gary, he looks really young. Like I look like Anakin Skywalker at the fucking bar drinking, and shit. And, so they decided they're going to do an open mic, and this guy has like fucking 8 banana trees in his fucking bar. And they're almost to the roof, and there's just bushes and everything. Like it was like doing comedy in the woods. And
I've actually done that.
People are like popping out like what? So like the first 2 or 3 comics were new guys and they hadn't been doing it for very long, and they didn't know me because I've been sticking with Tim and going into the Illinois areas and doing comedy. I haven't even fucked with St. Louis for a minute. And so these guys didn't really know me, and I got up there and I brought the room in. I was like, I've done I've done comedy on a lot of acid. Sorry.
I've been there. I've been there for a few times.
And I was like, but this is the weirdest room I've ever been in. I was like, I feel like there's people looking at me through this bush over here. And there was like 2 people. What? One guy popped out of the bush. And I was like, what the fuck is going on, guys? I was like, I feel like I'm on LSD right now. I was like, this is nuts. Like, it was the craziest room. You got to come down here and do some comedy there. It's on a Wednesday.
Sounds like a Tim Loss comedy joint for sure.
Oh, he's trying to give me drinks. I was like, yeah, I don't drink, man. He's like, oh, you don't drink? I'm like, no, I just smoke. He's like, well, you can smoke in here. So I got on stage and just fired up a blunt. I didn't give a shit.
Well, obviously, the last time
I have this sneaking suspicion that this was all happening in the bushes with a bunch of squirrels and raccoons. Like it wasn't a real place.
Yeah, and a homeless man was giving me a blowjob. You were there. You must have been cockholed.
It's just such a weird story.
It was a Tinder blowjob because he was really wanting that soup afterwards.
That's hilarious. A Tinder blow. I don't know if that's like a swipe right blowjob or if you're meaning like this was like we're going to be soft today.
Swipe or something. No.
Oh my Lord.
I don't like it when you use the word tender in my wiener, you know. It's called soft, all right? We're not going to beat around it.
That's probably why it's soft, really.
Oh, man. That's true.
Does anyone want to fucking follow that as usual?
I'm pretty sure we instituted a rule where Gary's supposed to go last, and Gary kind of fucked it on this one. I'm okay with that, but...
That's hilarious.
Like, we just ate turkey and ham, and Gary's been in the fucking doing comedy, like fucking Crocodile Hunter wise. Like,
dude, do you know they don't like a type 5 in jail? When you're in jail, no one thinks anything's funny, so you can't run your type 5.
For a loose 7. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah, a loose 7 is what exactly.
What you mean? Shut the fuck up! A 15 that they have in jail.
There you go, yeah.
Shut the fuck
up!
It's more
of a 20. Yeah. Oh.
I think you gotta do jail material.
Yeah, and see, I look like a criminal, but outside of being like a generic island boy, I don't think that they're finding me too fucking funny. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, "What the fuck is with this dude?" Face tattoo.
You gotta roast the guards.
Yeah, I didn't even think about roasting the guards. Maybe talking something about ramen noodles, dusting out your ramen noodle jokes. Maybe that's too close to home.
Look, man,
they're like, "Man, what did that motherfucker just say about our soups?" And I'm like. I need to get out of here. I got to fake a diabetes moment to get the fuck out, you know. Diabetes for the win, dude. It's got me out of every situation. And if my PO's watching right now, please don't come at me.
Is that who Gwen Elrod is?
Oh, my God.
Is that his name? Oh, Jesus.
Well, guys.
Your PO's here. I just saw a comment.
Thank you guys for talking about your the PO and everything. Zuckerberg got my main account and is now locked for 30 days. So anyone is now, for some reason, we shared it. I got caught. So that got me. Don't worry. Backup accounts are still around. So we'll be just fine.
I think that might be our fault, Tim. You kept on liking what you were saying in the group chat, and we reported you. That's what it was.
Well, that's the only way I can get likes. Have you seen me? My mom's not even doing that shit. You gotta do what you can. Oh, come on. It's a joke now. And you know what's funny? She still hasn't been in the comments once. So it's not like it's not accurate. It's accurate as fuck. Well, let's see. Apparently, that was fun. I'll deal with that shit later. That's gonna be fun. I gotta send him my ID again. That's how you get your account back.
Oh, because now it's blocking the stream on that.
Yeah, Tim Lost Comedy is now blocked. So X marks the spot on that. But that happens. That'll be all right.
How's our American Legion show looking?
Well, Zuckerberg did gift that motherfucker. And it's still on full blast January 21st. So that's really cool. Check that out. Tickets are on sale at the American Legion in McLeansboro, Illinois.
That's half of the balls.
Yeah, fucking right.
We're half of this ball sack, guys. we gotta get everybody else.
Giving up his Fourth Amendment to get that Facebook page back.
Oh shit, it's real.
I thought Dino was saying something about amendments. I was like, Dino knows about our amendments? Holy shit. Like, I'm not putting it past you. I bet you
Dino's
do.
more knowledgeable about the amendments here than I am. I'll give you that. He probably knows a little bit more.
Well,
Yeah, but I know the ones
green-
like legally for like buying property and not, protecting people's rights for to congregate, not to bear arms and choke a bitch. But that's just
Dino, I want to buy property in Scotland so I can be a lord.
Hey, man.
Funny, I did the
it's pretty
exact
simple.
same thing on New Year's. And I wore a King's outfit. It was amazing.
I got a picture of it. It's right here. It's Tim.
Damn, dude. On fleek.
It's on something.
On something. Not on acid, that's for sure.
That
Pretty
rich
robust
man
colors. It might have been
1450 thread.
It's like someone's been going to the honey baked ham, huh?
Nice.
That's a
the way
good
to
store.
do it.
It's an expensive ham.
Whew, I'm sorry. I was too busy on the phone with Zuckerberg. They want to see my ID, which I was like, I had to see if I had that on stock. So I can't get into my face and even make it. I tried for you guys. Hey, it's no problem. I got a backup, so that's all right. I'm fine. It's just like I was like sharing it. I was like, yeah, it's super cool. And Pennsylvania was like, no, we just dislike you very greatly. So lesson learned. But we'll get you back, Penns Woods. We know where you're at.
Just show them your butthole and they'll know.
But yeah, don't share too much. That'd be my rule on that one. Just comment and just be a good fan.
Everyone else to share. Comment
Yeah,
and
that's
share
important.
for yourself, just to your own page, just so we can touch your friends. Not like Gary got touched in jail, in a nice way.
The way Gary was talking, he was doing the touching. Is all I'm just saying. Like, that sounds.
It was a combination of them both. I like to be a balance,
Gary looks like a generous lover. I'll be honest. He didn't even have to be prompted for the reach around. He was like, "Hey, don't worry, I got this."
Yeah, I'm a pro. I'm an old pro. You gonna put money on my books or what?
Hey, we had a good intro. It's been great. Let's get to why we're all here. Let's talk about sports because we're all big sports fans. We all know this. So let's go to our first segment in the news. These are going to be highlights and news stories that we found that were particular interesting or new. So let's bring that up.
Today.
What do we?
What care about that?
I'm not even going to do intro. Fuck it.
No, so I did in the news. That showed.
Oh, did it show?
Yeah, that's why I'm like
The intro? I didn't even see it.
Oh, hold on. Let me try it again. All right, everyone. Sorry, that's on me. This is it.
Lost him twice.
Well, it was just an audio clip. Okay.
That was great.
It is cool.
It was.
Yeah.
What's in the news?
Oh, this has been going fantastic so far. I worked like 50 fucking minutes on that thing just for some random dude to talk beforehand. Go, hey, and then just glitch out. But hey, that's just how it would be. Welcome to the new year. I can't expect new things to happen. Here's my notes. Fuck them. We're already 15 minutes in. So, in the news, the one I found very particular, Nickelodeon is doing football shows, and then all of a sudden, they got introduced to a new word that is not appropriate on SpongeBob. Fuck was uttered the first time on New York on Nickelodeon by a Bears wide receiver. Do you think that was appropriate? My question to the panel is, when can we start airing Carlin's bits on Nickelodeon and really teach these kids something? Leave it up to you guys.
Well, they'll start allowing cussing to go through, but like Carlin, that promotes ideas and thoughts. Like they don't want that on TV.
I'll feel you on that.
I think it'd be fun to actually throw Carlin on there, but bleep out everything anyway, so people have to fill in the blanks by themselves, or just start asking their parents questions. I think that's fair.
I think what we should do is air. What was it? It was Shiny Time Station, all right? And George Garland was the conductor. And we should let the kids see that first and be like, you remember Thomas, you little bastards? You like Thomas? Well, this is how we got introduced to George Carlin, you know, like, well, at least me. You guys had him. Tim probably is in the same boat as me. I doubt you were watching George Carlin before you were like 4 or 5 years old.
I was introduced to him at about 10 through his books and cassette tapes. Same time I was introduced with Bill Cosby. One turned out to be better than the other, apparently. A little side note, I didn't know there was a sport going on. Apparently there's a fucking dog fight in the next room too. So that if I mute my mic, it's because of that.
Michael Vick's over.
Oh, dude, it's fucking nuts. Everything's going crazy. But that's what happens when you get front row seats at this boxing event with Jake Paul. That's right.
Yeah.
Perfect segue. What's Jake Paul doing here lately? And Jake Paul is in the news for finally saying he'll fight in the UFC. He wants to fight in the UFC. I think he's going to fight Jorge Masvidal, but he has some actual conditions. If you guys remember the last time he fought Tyron Woodley. If we put the picture up, this is what happened to Woodley. He decided to do an internet meme called planking in the middle of a boxing ring. In other terms, he got knocked the fuck out. Now, that's going to lead to one of our first questions to the panel out here. Was it real? Do you believe in Jake Paul's ability, or do you believe it's a reality show and staged in certain aspects? What do you guys think?
It's a little bit of both.
I like that answer.
He's obviously got more boxing ability than me, but it's all a fucking stunt for the money. If he really is going to the UFC, I'll tell you, I liked it better when James Toney did it first.
Oh, yeah. James Toney talked a lot of trash, too. That was awesome. And he got his ass beat quick.
I was going to say, get his ass stomped. But, Dino, you want to go?
No, go ahead.
All right, because this is definitely my avenue, I feel. And how I feel about this whole fucking Paul Brothers period boxing, it's a gimmick. And, as bad as it, being a fucking athlete and being a fighter, and going through all the shit that we had to do to make it into fighting as a goddamn reputable sport, and then having these asshats coming off of YouTube who are just rich ass kids. That he was a wrestler. He wrestled for fucking, I think, Penn State or Purdue, one of those two. So it wasn't that he wasn't a Division I athlete coming into these boxing matches. He just happened to be a rich kid that had a YouTube thing following, and so is his brother. And obviously they got enough money to where they're paying these fighters more money than they can make in their whole fight career, fighting a 20 fight span championship fucking career. And then now, he's falling on the mat after the dude cues him. And if you watched that fight with Tyron Woodley, Jake Paul lifted his glove like, you ready? Yeah. Tyron Woodley stepped forward and dropped his lead hand like, give it to me, and he got it. He got knocked the fuck out. But it was set up. If you pay me $1 million, and I don't know if you've seen the video of him giving Woodley the Rolex on a podcast, he gives him a fucking Rolex and then will not talk about the price, just says it's a one-of-a-kind Rolex before the fight. So that's just a gift. If you told me you were going to give me $1 million, I'd probably let you stab me in the gut with a fucking knife, and on live TV. I'd fall down too.
Gary, I have a question for you though. So, because you know more about this kind of weird shit than I do, right?
Yeah.
So my thoughts are like, are you saying that it's the two ugly weird brothers are the ones behind all this, or you don't think that the promoters and the guys running are just trying to use it as an opportunity? Like,
it's the
you think it's
promoters.
them?
It's probably some Don King ass dude that we don't know about that, is behind them, backing them. And then these guys are just like, hold on a second. I'm going to be glorified as this glorious fighter. And all I got to do is just keep making ass comments about people and being rude to people in public. And then, it's almost the Conor McGregor deal. Conor McGregor is now like infamous for just being a douchebag. He was out one of the greatest fighters in the UFC history. But in the last 3 or 4 years, all that he's really shown is how that fame can go to your head. And it makes you like that douche that you didn't want to be around in school. Now he's the champion of the fucking UFC. And that's not what we want our kids to be, looking at and
he
wanting
walks
to
like
be
a chicken. Let's be honest. He walks like a chicken, some sort of rooster animal. I don't give a shit about him, right? Because what?
Yeah.
Oh, he's the smallest dangerous person in my butthole. I don't give a shit. But
to me, it was like my wife watching Lizard Lick, the old show Lizard Lick Towing, and she's believing that they're really towing cars and it's all real. I'm
Wait,
like,
hold
yeah,
on.
they probably are towing the cars,
All
but I don't think this colorful character is really having his mama on the CB as the other guy. Like this is all made. So that's what I kind of think. I think you both hit it on the head. It's staged as fuck. Did he really get knocked out? I think, in my opinion, he did, but he set himself up for it. He knew it was going to come. He knew what the whole deal was. It's theater. I mean, wrestling has been doing this shit. So don't smirk, Dino. Yeah, I'm going to go and wrestling's been doing this shit for a century, and it's
more than a century, man. It's been the showmanship. Listen. No one can stand there and say that a wrestler or somebody in the UFC or someone who's just well trained isn't a capable athlete, right? A capable athlete has an abundance of transferable skills, right? If you're a good runner, you're going to have stamina. Maybe you're going to be a decent biker, something like that, right? These are all facts, and that's fine. But an agreement is an agreement, just like in wrestling. There's a plot line that has to be followed. And the fact that it's coming over into what is, in actuality, not a performance art, but more of a athletic prowess, being able to be a combatant, in that kind of scenario, is just ruining it for everyone. Because like you said, Gary, there's a lot of work and time and rules and governance that has come into play on hardcore fighting that made it possible. And now everyone's going, well, you know what? Let's just make it into a show. It's bullshit.
Well, what's fucked up about this? I'm going to spin this on. Maybe it will piss off Gary, but I think Jake Paul might be doing more for the actual UFC fighters than the UFC fighters because he has 3 conditions.
Totally.
He has 3 conditions to fight, and most of them are give fighters more money. I'm paying my fighters this. Why can't you do it? You have a way bigger organization. All this shit, and that's what's ironic. This motherfucker from Disney Channel knocking out Division I wrestlers is going to do it, and I don't think it's credible. I don't think he's a credible boxer. I don't think he's faced anyone to be called himself a professional boxer. I think he's a throwback to what he is, the evolution of tough man fights. He is a celebrity.
He's pointed out the fact that the UFC's made billions of dollars on people like my head, not saying me, but just fighters and up and coming guys that they give 1 or 2 fights to, and fucking they don't ever go anywhere, and then they're, to their hometown, they were in the UFC and fucking everything else, but then they got nothing to fall back on. Maybe they open a gym up, teach a couple kids, it closes, nothing that fucking is anything for a future. So what these guys like Jake Paul and Logan Paul are doing is they're making it to where the UFC's having to open up their wallet a little bit more now, I'm feeling. And they're not going to like that because these fighters are like, hey, we've been getting fucked and we're smiling when it's happening. So like, maybe we should do something about this, and they're going in like, well, we're just going to go and box, and
well, that's the comment from Henry Reed. I don't like Paul, but he makes sense with his demands. You're like, the fact is, you're right. They've made millions of dollars.
What are his demands?
He actually wants like 50% price purses and just more
that.
overall guaranteed pay and base. And he also wants guaranteed healthcare for all the fighters.
Amen.
And he wants money. He wants a guaranteed pay for him too. But also, nah, I'm not gonna get. I'm fucking a stepfather, so I immediately discredit this motherfucker, and I always will. Hey, I don't think Jake Paul deserves any credit really, because we wouldn't need Jake Paul if Dana White and the UFC would just do what's right. Dana White and the UFC have put themselves in a corner where Jake fucking Paul is the smartest one in the room. Let that soak in. That soak in. When the guy from who retired from the Disney Channel at 22 is telling you good marketing strategy and how to keep your employees and stuff, that's kind of fucked. And especially on a promoter side when he's tested his own market doing that shit. Yeah. But basically, his demands are he wants a lot of money, but then he wants all the people to have health care and a guaranteed 50% of the purse and gate. They want, instead of basically that Reebok deal fucking up the UFC for the longest time, he wants the fighters to get paid.
And a lot of people don't know like that, and I don't mean to keep interrupting you, but like a lot of fighters made money on sponsorships. I was one of them. I had sponsors that paid for a lot of shit to where I didn't have to buy fucking gloves, and I didn't have to buy pants and cups and shit, And so when the UFC did that, all these sponsors just dropped, like these people were helping fighters live, and then the sponsorship was Reebok, Bud Light, and Monster Energy were like the three sponsors that were allowed into the UFC. And it really just monopolized the shit, It was just like either you're on this or you just don't get fucking paid, And
but that comes into play is that realistically, people like listen, and I don't know anything about sports, but Dana White I know is in charge of the UFC, and Dana White is coming off as he's the guy that brought the ball. She's like, well, you got to do what I say, or I'm going to take my ball and go home, and you can't play with it. And you're going, well, how about this? Maybe we could buy another ball. Maybe someone who's not fucking retarded, which in this scenario seems to be Jake Paul of all people. And he's saying, hey, man, you know what? We could have a lot of balls and we could all be profitable and all have a great time. And that just seems fucking retarded.
I could talk. I think we could actually talk sophisticatedly about this topic for another 30 minutes, but that's not sports ball style. We have run the funny out of it. We've gone to knowledgeable territory. And if you're here for that, you've done fucked up. Welcome to Sports Balls. So
I just learned more about him than I ever knew. I didn't watch neither one of these retarded brothers on YouTube. I've never watched one of his fights. I'll see the highlight the next day of who he paid to beat up. Yeah. But fuck it. I don't care. I hope Masvidal smacks him upside the head. I really hope just puts him on his back.
If it happens,
out of
first off, Dana White's not just the guy to go and write a fucking let's do it check for anybody. Everybody earns it. And I just don't see this Paul brother getting in the UFC ring and fighting a UFC fighter at the top level unless he earns it. I really don't.
Dana
I would
White's
be super
sending
surprised.
goon squads after him.
It's not even that. My big thing is this, is that realistically, are we not seeing that Jake Paul has turned into Rocky 3 Rocky, where he's like, all the fights are just pretend and set up, not for anyone who's a contender, because, well, he got soft. And like, that's what we're seeing in real life, is they're just pretend fights. And everyone's like, oh yeah, because he's on the bike and the girls are kissing him. And it's like, oh, we're having a great show. I don't know where Tim went. Fuck.
Good. I can't wait for Paulie to give away all his money.
Power got turned off.
Exactly. Fucking Paulie, man. Well, since Tim's gone, okay, then I'm gonna bring in Tank. Hey, Tank.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up?
Not much.
Yeah.
I just want to put in right now, if Jake was to fight a real MMA guy who and the rules have to be different, because Ben Askren, who he knocked out, is a wrestler, right? He's a great wrestler.
He's a fat piece of shit, is what it is. Okay, let's be honest.
So let's imagine Jake Paul getting into a cage where there's cage rules, where you can kick, where you can grapple, where you can choke somebody unconscious. I think it'll be a whole different fight. I don't think
Of course. Look,
Jake
those
Paul's not
people,
built for that.
that's how you kill people, right? Like, let's be honest. Look, a boxing match, yeah, you can kill somebody,
But Jake Paul
but it's
can fight.
unlikely. No, and nobody's saying he can't fight,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, but is he a professional fighter?
No.
Let's say no, right?
I'll
He's
give
more-
him this. He's a boxer.
Yeah.
Sure. But listen, boxing fucking sucks.
Did you
okay?
see when he was trying to call Dana White out saying that he's a coke addict? And Dana White said, all right, I'll take a cocaine test for the next 10 years randomly. You come at me for 10 years and I'll pass or fail probably. But he said, I want to be able to test you for steroids for the next 2.
Listen.
And test everyone.
I think
you
he should do it. He should do it. He should do it, right? Because it allows some transparency to the MMA, right? I mean, I know Johnny Bones ain't the only one having some fun, right? So I know there's other MMA fighters who are definitely, walking the thin line. But then at the same time, Jake Paul, steroids, I mean, he's little, bro. He's built terribly. You know what I mean? If Jake Paul's on steroids, he needs a better connect, man. So
that's the whole thing is I think he's more of an athlete than a fighter's build, number one. But also, too, it's like, listen, how old is Jake Paul? What is he?
24, 23?
Yeah, okay. So he's what, track and field guy? That's his build. And you're going, okay, listen, I'm fat as fuck. And I do not move fast. I beat the shit out of a couple track and field guys in my day. And you know what?
He's a Division 1 wrestler. He wrestled.
Then he's well, okay.
But
Division
that
1
also,
wrestling though means he's touched someone's balls.
Yeah.
On purpose. That's what that means.
A
Not
lot.
by accident. That was a full
grip.
Maybe get this checked out, eh?
Nuts.
Yeah.
And I think that, and like what Gary is saying, because I didn't even know he was a Division 1 wrestler, but that kind of makes sense why he doesn't want to get in the cage and kind of roll with these guys, because it's a whole nother league than just, you know what I mean?
And he knows it.
He knows like Division 1 wrestling is not going to keep you safe against a brown belt jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? From a guy that is trained to choke.
Was Tim like, dude, we're done with fucking the MMA thing? And we just kept talking about it. He's like, fuck it, I'm out.
I don't know. Well, we can go on to other subjects, right? So I have all the stuff here.
All right. Now that Tim's gone, let's change the topic.
Yeah.
This seems like a perfect time to transition.
I feel bad because this is a topic you want to talk about too, but that's the only one I got left. So Mike Tyson has priorities, and you should too. This was a story about Mike Tyson, how one of the girls that he's with, he broke up with her because she took his pigeon and made it into a pie. And she ate it in front of him. And she was like, yo, you got to eat it. And he's like, nah, I'm out of here. And I'm like, I feel like there's a lot more to that story. Because, like, guy, he's Mike Tyson. Like, he loved, and so the story goes on where somebody else had, I don't know, did you guys read the story or no? Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't read this one.
One of his favorite pigeon died. Okay. So he took care of the body, but the coop that it was in, he was going to take it and like use the wood for something else as a memorial for the pigeon, right? Because remember, these are his close pets. Like when he was poor, they had these things. Now, the garbage man saw it on his stoop and was like, oh, they forgot to bring it. So the garbage man was like, oh, I'm going to, that's a nice gesture. I'm going to throw it out for them. Throws it out and like crushes it in the back of the garbage truck. And Mike comes out and fucking plants one on him. And the guy like falls to the ground and starts convulsing. And you're like, listen,
imagine being the neighbor, like fucking yes, we got one. We got to see Mike punch somebody. Honey, did you see that? Mike just decked the trash guy.
Yeah. He's like, play the ring camera back.
But
this is a lesson. Stop going above and beyond. Stick to what your fucking job is and just do it and go home.
Bill, that's a commercial for minding your business. Just mind your business, or Mike Tyson might fuck you up. Jesus.
I don't know. It's fucked up because it just doesn't make sense. Like, this is the thing, is Mike Tyson, we've all seen those videos of him where it's like when he was boxing, you're like, and even now when he's training, you're like, guy, that's terrifying. And remember what was a few years ago, the guy who died, Kimbo Slice.
Yeah.
That guy had a rough punch.
Yeah.
Nothing on Tyson.
Nothing
though.
on Mike Tyson.
Dude,
I seen
Tyson?
Timo Slice knock a guy's eye out. I still wasn't as worried.
Yeah.
As Mike Tyson just
Sure.
demolishing other grown men in 3 seconds. I
Well,
mean,
Mike
Jesus
Tyson
Christ.
has that fucking uppercut that literally looks like those Rock'em Sock'em robots. The person's head just comes right off.
I'm
right?
not. I wouldn't pick anything up off of Mike Tyson's porch if it had a note next to it. There's no way.
Dude, so imagine you called Mike Tyson on the phone and he never tells you that it's Mike Tyson. Instead,
Hey guys, what's
he's like, listen, motherfucker, I'm coming over to your house. I'm going to beat your fucking ass. And you'd be like, all right, dog, get your ass on over here. Mike Tyson shows up and you're like, Gary does not live here. I think he gave you the wrong address or something, you know.
I would pretend to be
Gary,
deaf. I'd
my
be like,
name is
I'm
Gary.
telling you, I can't speak. I am.
Could you imagine me trying not to say I was Gary if someone had a picture of me? Like, I'm a fucking walking fingerprint, you know what I mean? Like, I could not be like, yeah, Gary's not here. Can't shake it.
This is an H. Gary has a G here. This is H for Harry.
I feel like that would be like he'd like hold up a mirror and be like, "See, I don't look like this picture. Everything's on the wrong side. You can tell in the mirror." Like,
Be like
put some
Maury.
random shit like that. Where you go, yeah, exactly. Like, there's no
Look
way.
at his nose,
No,
Maury.
it's terrifying.
Anytime you hear that on Maury, you automatically know that child is not that guy's kid. They're like, look at his nose. If the nose is like your defense for fucking the fact that this is your kid, it's not good.
Maury always hold the little pamphlet like he already knows. He's okay, guys. We have the results in the case of 3-year-old loose neck Richardson. You are
How come nobody that goes on Maury can just talk to the camera for the interview in a normal tone of voice?
Yeah, Gary, my name's Tom, and I fuck that baby.
Yeah. And the baby daddy's got the sickest fucking dance moves after they fucking
every
find
time.
out that it's not their kid, dude.
As he should though. Like realistically, like that's traumatic. Can you imagine? Someone's like, "You're the dad." What? That's not gonna work for me. Sorry.
I'm like, oh my god, dude.
Over her water, just fuck this bitch. Yeah, I told you. he's just so happy to not be responsible for that kid. Just so happy.
Michael Jackson would be proud of these motherfucking moonwalks these dudes are doing off their fucking stage, you know, and you're just like, holy shit.
Oh man.
Great.
It's good shit. It's good shit. Mike Tyson, thank you for bringing us to Maury. We appreciate you, Mike.
Yeah, because no one wants to touch Mike Tyson, dude. We don't want to fuck with that guy.
Bad things about Mike back to back.
No. Listen, the best thing is, so I saw this live was on the morning news. So you guys remember that mayor that was a crackhead, right? In Toronto.
Yeah, Mary and Mary.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so Mike Tyson came to Toronto and talked about him and was like, "Hey, that guy's awesome." And a guy on the news here was like, he goes, "Hey, so Mike, do you think it's a good effect or a bad effect, you being a convicted rapist?" And I'm like, oh, did you just call Mike Tyson on live TV a rapist? Because that gets you killed, guy. Hey, Mike Tyson's like, "You're a piece of shit." Dude, I was like, listen, number one, before asking that question, I would have shit my pants.
Yeah.
After asking the question and Mike Tyson called me a piece of shit, I would have shit myself twice. Okay.
His balls are made of vibranium. He just asked Mike.
No.
He said it, and I was like,
it's a valid question, right?
it's
valid
like,
question,
yeah,
right?
but I'm not gonna ask it.
I saw
That's a
that
real
interview.
dick thing to say, though.
It's really
I saw
to-
that interview. That
It
dude's
is.
soul ran home when Mike Tyson called him a piece of shit and stared him down. Like,
You're
you
a
can
piece
see
of
it in his
shit. You know
face.
what, Mike, I
Oh,
am.
yeah.
I'm gonna go. Fuck
dude.
it.
There's listen,
And
his dick
who the
went
know?
right in, turned into a vagina, and his butthole lost full control for sure. Because I'm like, I would shit my pants.
I've met a lot of famous people in my life, and I never acted stupid or like fanned out on anybody. But if I met
Right.
Mike Tyson, I might not say the right word. I definitely wouldn't say anything about a rape, for sure.
Yeah, well,
But I probably would fan, you know, I'd probably like, so Emmett Smith, I met Emmett Smith and I'm a huge Cowboys fan. And I was like, Emmitt Smith, you're the greatest running back in NFL history. And he's like, Walter Payton is the greatest running back in NFL history.
That's gangster.
And I was like, yeah, but I'm a Cowboys fan. And he's like, well, that's the truth, man. And he's smoking this big ass cigar. And I was just like, he's wearing an all white suit. And I'm in St. Louis. And I'm just like, I didn't even care if I lost my job. I was just like, fuck it. Because they make you sign a contract saying you're not going to talk to celebrities and like you'll be in encounter with them and just act like they're normal people. But that's Emmitt Smith. I was like, fuck this job. Yo, Emmitt Smith.
But a real OG, though, is like, no, I'm not. That guy's better. Why? Because he knows exactly who he is and what he wants, right?
Yeah. Gangster, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
That's super dope. But like realistically, you know what? That's like when that security guard got past the joint from Snoop Dogg. You're like, yeah, I'm definitely taking that joint, and I'm just as far as I can.
My boss's face.
Hey Tim, what's up, buddy?
Hi, Tim.
Our awful host is back.
Miss you, brother.
My computer crashed, and then I can't get back into my account because Zuckerberg got me. So I had to go to my dummy account. And after I broke 3 of my desks in half and had 3 meltdowns, I'm here to talk about pigeon pie. What'd I miss?
You missed pigeon pie.
Pigeon pie.
Mike Deck the trash man. That's what you missed. Mike is out here beating up the trash people.
We all agreed that we would help Mike beat that guy to death, and probably the person who made the pigeon pie. That's for sure.
And dispose of the bodies.
Absolutely.
With a smile.
In that order.
They were half to death. They weren't even fully dead, and we're fucking disposing of them. So that's where we stand with Mike Tyson.
Firm.
Absolutely. It seems totally reasonable to me. Absolutely reasonable. All right.
So what's next?
Hey, Tim? Is Tim frozen?
Yes, he's been frozen for like a minute now.
God damn it.
He came back for a second.
No, and you know what? That's so aggravating. I know it's aggravating, and I'm like, I don't want to be blamed for his aggravation.
What if that's how Jesus comes back? And he's just frozen on, and they're like, dude, that's him. And they're like, dude, turn the shit off.
His boss is that way? Yeah, that's easier. Okay, so the topic that we were originally going to touch on for today was radio contests, American pastime, or are they a sport? So we read a bunch of articles that are, some were horribly depressing, others were entertaining, but some of them were ridiculous, and they really go into a bunch of things. So we're going to show a video that I have prompted right now that is essentially, it's one of these contests where it was tickets for something, and people have done crazy things. Did you guys read those articles, or?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm going to show a great appreciation to Tim because he's the one who usually deals with you assholes. Saying, yes, we read it. And then say nothing the fuck else.
I did not read an article. No, I didn't.
I don't trust you to be the reader, Gary. I trust these other two fucks.
I skimmed it.
I don't have book on file.
My thing isn't with the radio station. It's the people that participate.
Yeah.
Drinking piss for Motley Crue tickets. Like, even when they were at the height of their coolness, they were definitely not worth that.
Whose piss are we drinking?
That's the first question that should be asked.
Which is a valid question.
It has to be your own.
Your own piss? Oh yeah, I'd do that for some concert tickets. I've done that on accident. We've already went into this for free.
We have. Let me see. It's where is it?
Yeah,
there we go.
My memory.
Right there. That's
there we go.
Gary's got some issues.
Was that in a Gatorade bottle?
It was an apple juice.
Okay,
big ass.
It was like a gallon of apple juice, man. That's not.
Now,
but the label matters, though. The label matters. The fact that it's apple juice, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, it looked like piss.
All right.
And now, as far as these radio contests, you hinted to it earlier.
Yeah.
The lady that died, a Wii for a Wii, holding her piss to win a Nintendo Wii. I read that shit. And I remember the first thing it said in the lawsuit, the husband told ABC News, all of this could have been avoided. Yeah, you could have reached into your pocket for a few hundred and bought your family a fucking Wii.
Bro,
Your wife
Wow,
didn't have to
that is
get
wild,
one.
right?
you fucking dumbass.
I forget
like
you live
that's-
in Nebraska, but weeds are like $75. I don't even think a few hundred
When they
like
were
would
brand new?
Oh, when
No,
they're brand new?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I was like, you get one of those.
$300.
Like,
That would be
You
a
get one of
completely
those for a
different
fucking-
twist on this shit. If
a
she
shoe.
died trying to win a Wii now.
Oh,
yeah, she
well,
better
look,
win
it's-
pro and bowling.
Well, we have this where it's like everyone had to keep their hand on a thing, and you're like, what the? Like, this is just insane, right?
What the
And you win the truck?
Probably that was the picture, but I believe this is actually from like a
Oh
TV
my
show or
God.
some shit. But like, look, that's the.
I was gonna
the
say,
crazy
based
part.
on the way they're standing, you can clearly see who's gonna be out early.
Exactly. Yeah, she's doing too much in the front. Your leg is not natural. Get out of here.
Man,
But the
my
fat
guy,
chick at the back of the truck, she's got like some sort of catheter going or something because she
The
does
guy
not
in
give
the
a shit.
red, the guy in the red's trying to plead his case. He's like, "Fucking, just let me have it."
oh, but he's got
The girl
good
that's
position,
wearing,
though. He's
like,
got a nice
nothing.
stance, both hands. He's leaning on his hands,
He's
using the
begging.
truck to support his weight.
He's like, "You guys drove here. I fucking walked. Let me have this fucking car." Jesus Christ.
Well, this is the thing, right? Is how do you hold people responsible? So the lady with the Wii for a Wii, which number one, great name, stupid premise. Hey Tim,
No, I've been here for a little bit. Thank you for just not acknowledging me. Wants to stick around. I appreciate the comments, bringing up my King Henry, and I'm sorry I missed Tank's introduction. Tank, thank you for coming to Sportz Ballz.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Usually, I don't share 100 times and get busted by Zuckerberg, but it's a new year, so welcome to Tim Lost Comedy Show. But Tim Lost Comedy is back up, and the network seems to be doing well. I will continue being a all host right here. So that's why I interjected and stopped all the funny to bring the center attention onto me.
So Tim Lost Comedy's back going.
Oh yeah, it never stopped. That dumpster fire takes a while. You can't just use a regular fire extinguisher on it. You got to get a professional one.
you need the foam.
So-
Oh, yeah.
You need the foam. Yeah, that's fair.
I miss pigeon pie. Did we talk about? I missed that. That's
We're
awful.
talking about a Wii for a Wii.
Yeah, that's what I saw. And if I did my things right, they actually got $1 million because there's a tragic thing that happened to them in Sacramento. They had to hold their Wii for the longest time while chugging water to get a Wii.
Yep.
It happened tragically. It sucks. They sued them. A lot of people got fired. But that was kind of the end of the whole contest things for the longest time. So my idea is, what do you think would happen now if a PlayStation 5 was on the line? What kind of contest would you do? Like, would it be like, I want to see jousting, like straight up in Walmart, aisle
I'd
10
fucking
to
slap
9.
a grizzly
jousting.
bear for a PS5. I'd fucking bring it on. I'd do it. I'd fucking hold my shit for a month. What do you want me to do?
You can't hold
I
the shit
still-
for
That's the
7
thing.
days. You'll die. That's just.
I
that's
still
impossible.
want the taser gun duels.
You know, I'll go septic in this bitch.
Listen. You don't know my medical history, okay, sir? I know things. I know horrible fucking things.
I know
okay?
how deep the body gets. Okay.
I'm
mean,
telling you,
I'm still moving product, okay? It's not.
As far as a radio contest, a PS5, what, $500? $600? No.
7, 8.
I
Well, there's
cost
maybe
more
on
than
eBay.
that.
That means taser gun duels. All right, you walk 10 paces, and you turn and you shoot. Pow! All right,
Stop at
that would be
9.5,
great.
you win.
The winner gets a PS5. The loser, he gets tasered. You know, real
Does he get-
simple.
Does he get tasered multiple times? Like first one to drop from a taser?
Absolutely.
You don't even have to drop as long as those
Tim
hooks
just
sink in
dropped.
your
He
ass.
already lost.
If you
I
get the,
don't know what's
but if you
happening
pull
with
out
him.
one of the hooks, you get to keep a controller or something just for fucking the effort.
Yeah,
I don't think you
catch it.
should get distant ones. It has to be like close contact, like.
Oh. Close combat.
No, I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
guns. You walk away, ping, 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 ping,
Yeah.
as far as you can. I don't know if you can walk 10 paces and accurately nail somebody with a taser
No,
gun.
because you can't even guarantee that it'll be hooked in. right? Because it's
Yeah.
got to hook
Yeah.
in on both prongs. That's why
I'll
if
show
you're
up with 6 shirts and a flannel.
Feels like
And that's the thing is, if it doesn't connect both, it doesn't impact you as much, right? It might give you a little bit of a tingle, but until it gets the right match, like that's why
With them close ones.
And,
I can
and
tell
I'm
you that.
aiming for the face. If I'm in that game, I'm trying to shoot you in the face.
Right.
I'm
Pull the
just
ball,
fucking
pull the ball.
turning and
Fuck up your whole lineage, right? If you
yeah.
because if
trying
you're
to
gonna
do
enjoy
to us
this
what
PS4,
some-
your kids aren't. Your kids are not gonna enjoy this PS5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fry your
I'm-
ball stack.
Yeah, I'm just
Gary's
gonna
goal
aim.
is to do to you what somebody else had already done to him.
Yeah. Scar your face forever. Welcome to the club.
great story though. I won a PS5 and got tasered in the face for it. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
And I got a lawsuit against this jackass named Gary. Came up with this idea. It was
well, you
like,
smiled too much when you did it. I feel like you'd be like, ha pow, like right in the face. And I feel like that's you're like, you can't enjoy it as well. Like
Gary's back
I
there.
pull my bucket list out and I cross off a fucking line.
The trick there is you name Gary and the taser manufacturer in the lawsuit. Because when the taser manufacturer sees Gary, they're like, we can't be tied to this guy. Pay him off. Make that go away now.
Yeah. It is like, fuck this. I'm getting
Double
smoked by the taser.
99.1. Rock Station in New Haven, Connecticut. They have a celeb Deadpool 2 months back. My brother said Betty White was going to die before.
And now Betty and now the whole white family wants to kick
John,
his ass.
John, yeah, just so you know, John, your brother should go on the run.
Your
Maybe
brother
hide.
Yeah.
He might be in the service of the devil. I don't know.
Look here. He can come hang out here. I'm not sad about Betty White.
Bill for
You're a
sure
monster,
fucked Betty
Bill.
White,
You're a
all right?
monster.
Betty White was thick as fuck. We're not gonna do that. Betty White was beautiful. Okay.
Bill had some kind of relationship with Betty White because he didn't want to talk about it coming into this like an
Bill, wait
ex
a minute,
would be
Bill,
like,
you
I don't
have
want
a
to talk about it.
I've said it. Look, I've said it before. It's not that I had anything against Betty White. It's all the simps now that she's dead. You guys want to post like you're surprised. She was 99.
And fine.
You should have been surprised the day before when she wasn't dead, being 99.
You know what? Fuck you, Bill. No, fuck you. No, I'm getting out of here. I come out of my internet connection with my Golden Girls socks to say fuck you, Bill.
Bill's just got
Fuck
a
you,
fucking
sipping motherfucker. I know every words to Golden Girls. You,
Bill has the
you put
unpopular
that
opinion.
drink down. I will go face to face. Look right now, green screen gone. We're serious now. I'm added up to here with Zuckerberg and everything. And then you guys start trashing Golden Girls.
We
No,
guys,
we're
not
not
Bill.
trashing
You won't have
Bill
it, Bill.
specifically was.
Well, yeah, that's what
I'm
I'm
not
saying.
sad
Whoa.
about Betty White.
But I have their socks are comfortable as fuck.
I thought you were more of a B. Arthur fan.
Well,
No,
Then
yeah,
if
B. Arthur is fucking Mod is amazing. You can't go wrong with Mod. But I ain't gonna sit here in fucking
Betty
St.
White.
Olaf, Ohio,
Great
and let
legend.
you fucking disrespect Rose Nylon here. Hell no.
Hell no.
That's
How
a
do you
deep
feel
cut.
about Roseanne?
Roseanne? Hey, Roseanne's good as long as you don't have a Twitter account and take a whole bunch of pills. Roseanne's a reason why your grandparents shouldn't have a fucking Twitter, and the reason why I try not to go on there too much.
Roseanne is why I went to my doctor for Ambien. It sounds like a good time. I just want to fuck.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
been a long time, but a good time, right?
Hey,
Some G.G. Allen shit?
exactly.
I've smoked Ambien before. I don't know if that's good or bad, but
You
dude,
just got to
you
keep a
slept
bottle
well.
of Ambien so you have an excuse for the fucked up shit you do. You just say, hey, I took a pill.
I just ran out of weed for a little bit and need something extra. I heard that was good, so I sprinkled it on top.
Just pop a couple
Don't
capsules
suggest
of
it.
Zombies.
Not a good thing.
Buy
You
Ambien.
smoking pills?
Yeah, it's not a good thing. Kind of
Oh,
crackheadish.
man.
Fucking Sharpies and smell them. You'll be
So
straight.
what the hell not? I gotta stop.
Tim's
You
back.
can't see me because my shit's fucked. But thank you, guys. Awful host, still here in the middle. I'll chime in again when I hear some bullshit. Until then, I'll be in the comments for you guys.
Thank you for being a friend.
That's a real. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
He's
that's fair.
back.
He came in our time of need to shut down the monster that is Bill Queen. I think that's fair. That's a real friend. That's,
I still feel that way. You see my Twitter right there. If you want something, get some.
I would advise people not to go to his Twitter. It is.
So how do you feel about
rabbit
John
hole.
Madden? John Madden, huh?
I don't care that he's like. Come on, man. They're old. Everybody has to go.
Actually, a comic in Toronto was like, "Oh, Bill Madden and Frank Caliendo's closing bit. Those are both gone now." You're like, That's
I
too
mean,
bad.
no. Frank Caliendo's going to get more
Oh, here
traction
it
than
comes.
ever.
Oh,
Jim's back.
shit.
Hey, man.
I think that's a good thing John Madden's death is. Limiting Frank Caliendo's stand-up performances. God bless. That man's still helping America out, even in
So
his
Frank
death.
Caliendo is going to be having new video games. It's the Caliendo 2022.
Oh, shit.
Well, there's a guy who.
Right before
What's
the Super
that-
Bowl.
what's
right
that
before the
other-
playoffs.
Chris Collinsworth. Oh my God. He's the other announcer on Madden, and he's always like, the Cowboys are down. He's got like the most monotone voice, and like,
Garrett just
Oh,
like, why
I
the
think-
fuck you didn't take him? You can take
I don't
Take
think
this guy.
exactly.
He's got
I'm so mad at you guys. I leave for 2 seconds and you start trashing Rose Island. Collinsworth. You know what's in his name? Worth. That's how good he is. It's in his fucking name.
Not
He is
worth
Oh,
amazing.
man.
He is the straight man to the color commentary booth. I can't believe bad connect. I'm calling charter tomorrow because I can't leave you guys alone. Pretty soon you're going to be talking shit about cottage cheese too, and Gina's going to take over the whole fucking stream. It's going to be grease.
cottage cheese was last year. This
the
year,
year of Brie, sir. It's the year of Brie.
Sharp
the
cheddar.
butternut
Sharp
squash.
cheddar.
I've been
You ever
gone
seen
for
one of
10
those?
minutes, and I don't even know you guys anymore. You're talking about brie, no cheeses and houses anymore. I just don't understand. I am lost.
Complete anarchy.
It's in the name. That's how it.
Oh my lord.
You lose.
Hey.
Good day, sir.
I feel like this is a great opener for the year. I'm just gonna say
Yes,
that.
so they're gonna just have Chris Collinsworth on there on Madden, and it's not gonna be John Madden. It'll just be Collinsworth giving his 2 fucking cents.
They've
It's not gonna sell.
Let's
they
be
already
honest.
have enough Madden recordings. Like
Exactly.
he said,
Just keep
all they
spinning
need
the
to do
business.
is get Caliendo to. All he's got to do is say the player names in Madden's voice. That's the-
So you want Frank Caliendo to do a Key and Peele bit for 18 games for each? Like, I don't know. It's going to get old for a little bit. Hey, you know what I liked about Frank Caliendo? He left. Like, can we just let him keep leaving? Like, why do we got to keep bringing him up? He had a show on TBS. It failed. He had his shot at the Apple. We get it. You do a good De Niro. Guess what? Everyone else fucking does too. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Madden was cool. He won something for the Raiders. His video games were the ballest on Super Nintendo.
Was that the last
And
time
then
the
after
Raiders
that,
won
fuck the
anything?
dude.
I hope he sees this and roast your Wi-Fi connection.
Oh, what's gonna happen? Right now, he's in the sky doing his circle. Look at this motherfucker right here. This I'm going to disconnect his shit here. And what do you think, Al Michaels?
Draw
I think
lines
that's-
to your router.
So Glenn's saying that Tom needs to calm down.
Yeah.
Tom
That's
Ross
what-
needs to calm down. Tom Ross needs to calm down. Okay.
God damn, Tom.
That's fair.
Tom Ross is a great announcer's name, man. Tom Ross on announcer.
Back to you, Tom Ross.
Back to you,
My
Tom.
fucking avatar sounds better than me. That's how you know you did good. You're a fake person.
I say that they just give it to Tom Brady. I say instead of making it Madden, they just make it Tom Brady 2022.
I
And
will
just keep
never
doing
play
that.
Another Madden game a day. If I have to look at Tom Brady's smug fucking face, I won't. Tom Brady, his face is just fucking.
It's too honky.
Magical.
It's
His
too
face is
honky.
First
magical.
off, let me do
It's
this.
too
Let me do
honky.
this. Let me do
He's-
this first. And then I will say, fuck Tom Brady. Will
I
say,
remember that game.
I
That
will
was a
say,
good
Tom
game.
Brady, I hope you stub your toe and it hurts all week. I hope
Yeah.
every time you put a sock on it
Okay.
hurts.
All right. Again, These
You
have
wish
been
you'd bet on
railed.
Tom Brady.
The guy has more rings on a finger than fucking fingers on a hand.
I
The
hope
dude's
he
Yeah.
constantly
It's
participates
you can't
with
beat
those
numbers.
dreams, goes to prison.
Compete with them.
also he's the only man strong enough to be strong,
Tom Brady
manly
has the
enough
legs of
to
a
be the
4-year-old
spokesperson
superboy.
for Uggs boots. That's right. He's a spokesperson for Uggs boots, and he
Well-
throws touchdowns on Ray Lewis constantly and all those other guys. This dude is this is why I love him.
Ugg boots?
He is the troll of the NFL.
Ugg
He
boots.
is. What? Yeah, Ugg boots. You know what the white girls wear. Those girls wear in the summer with the leggings on, the little shit fur at the bottom. Ugg boots.
Tom Brady
He is the
probably
sponsor.
has a fucking TikTok. Tom Brady,
Oh.
I hate it. The word Tom, when you said Tom Ross, I almost thought you said Tom Brady. I was about fuck.
And then Tom Brady comes up anyway.
and then Tom Brady comes back. It's Tom Brady everything.
Have we talked about rocker pee yet, or eating whipped cream out of butts?
No, but I've been excited. Fuck yeah.
All right. Hey, that's another one. I know one in St. Louis happened when Ozfest was in town. Some guy did a radio contest. Hey, if you want me to kick you in your nuts, I'll give you 2 free tickets.
Awesome.
So the guy had to show up to get kicked in the nuts. But I also, the two I read that were the best was Motley Crue had one where they had to drink the disc jockey's pee. 4 people showed up, 3 rejected, 1 took a shot like it was tequila, got the tickets to Motley Crue, which begs the question, do you guys know any other better ways to get hepatitis? Like, because I can think of tons of ways, and I won't even have to go to a
Can you
Motley
get
Crue.
hepatitis from drinking urine? Because urine's sterile, right?
I'm sure. Do you want to risk it?
Gary has done his research. We have to know that first.
Yeah. You know, I was stung by a jellyfish, and this guy came up, and I was just like, in the mouth. He stung me in the mouth. And
He was like, I can
he
clearly
pissed
see
straight
your
in my
leg
mouth,
touch my mouth.
and I never got hepatitis, you know?
I saw him sting you on your leg, Gary. It was my mouth.
Yeah.
Gary, you drink your own pee. I don't know if this is really like
Oh, man. I can't go
on
there, guys.
accident. On accident.
Yeah. But, I mean,
Well, if anything, give it up for you for making appetizing pee. Like if I
Yeah.
piss, it's not everyone that ain't apple juice. You piss,
Yeah.
you can put a fucking umbrella in it, serve it as a cocktail. You never know.
it's a Tom Collins, motherfucker.
It's a Tom Collinsworth.
No, we shouldn't clap that. That's not
Oh no! Everyone clap that. Oh my lord! Put some pineapples and cottage cheese for that one. That was nice. All right. Well, no. What would you do to see, like, because in System of the Down, a DJ put whipped cream all over his ass to have someone eat it to get tickets to go see System.
That just seems like a really weird way to get your ass.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
like,
Seems like these motherfuckers are just rocking some
what should we
kinks.
do, guys, to get these tickets sold? He's like, you know what? I have the perfect thing. They're just like, fuck.
Hear me.
Here goes Jake again, trying to get his ass licked on the DJ booth.
Yeah.
You can
They
They
definitely.
wanted to do it.
I got
Yeah.
the whipped cream. I got the guy to come do it. He's like,
It's way more
And these
telling
are
of the
just
DJ,
basic-
right?
These are just basic fucking tickets. And then, you know, like I've been to so many fucking concerts in my life that there's only like a few bands that I even care to even want to see anymore.
Right.
And like, it has to be, I'm getting pampered and some VIP fucking tickets
yeah.
and all I can eat food and drink. That's what I want. I don't like to be with the peasants and fucking sitting in the crowd and doing all that stupid shit.
You know
Like,
those are
fuck
general
that.
population tickets.
I'm
Yeah,
definitely
you-
not gonna fucking French kiss
Hell no.
some guy's asshole for fucking nosebleed seats. That's not happening.
You guys are
No.
going to shit when you find out how I got my tickets to Ozfest at the lawn seating one year. You guys are going to really freak out. All I know is I still got a little
You
bit
were
of
the guy that drank the DJ's piss?
I mixed them together. I want a little
Semen
foam
and
for my
piss.
piss cocktail. No, but that's a good question. What would you guys like your favorite band? Because I might potentially do it if I got to see, like, I don't know, fucking Mozart, someone dead that I never would see before in like a once in a lifetime fucking thing. All I could think was Mozart. I listened to
You're
shitty
gonna tell
music.
me
They're
you
all
listen
still
to
alive.
fucking Mozart? Get the hell out of here!
All my
not
music's
that.
still alive. Fucking
he's
Fred
gonna-
Durst. He's never going to die. He's like Motley
Tim,
Crue.
Rage
Someone
Against
to
the
drink
Machine.
piss and
Have you
eat
looked at
ass.
those tickets? Have you looked at how expensive Rage Against the Machine tickets are next year?
They're
in
not
San Diego?
ass-eating expensive yet. They ain't rising
Oh
from the
yeah, they
grave.
are, dude. So
Yeah, they are.
They're like-
Morello needs more Mercedes.
in the nosebleed is like $350. If you want a floor seat, you're spending like $800 fucking dollars
At least a grand for me to eat some ass. At least
for a
grand.
floor seat, and we're talking normal people seats. You still got to buy food and shit.
Yeah.
These aren't and I would probably. I'm gonna
ate
go.
ass and you have an appetite for food. You're like, if I'm eating ass for like the tickets, I don't think money for a food budget's in there. I probably won't eat a little bit, maybe a drinking budget, but I've had my fill. I
I'm
think I'm
bringing
ready
a
to
fully
party.
dressed hot dog in my pocket if I'm paying.
So I just eat some acid and go to the show and fucking have a great time. I don't even pull my phone out and take a picture because those people piss me the fuck off. I hate that shit so much, dude.
I feel like a lot of your stories start that way, Gary. Like, I just took some acid and then middle end climax. Like that's
Well,
like
well, you know, like I feel like it's as long as you got sense of it and you don't eat it on holidays. Don't ever eat acid on Christmas. And, you know, I got knocked off of the other podcast because I was trying to let them know, like, you just don't eat this shit on these holidays because no matter how many presents you put under a tree and shit, you just feel like, what the fuck, man? You get all depressed and shit. Not a good idea, you know?
where the fuck were you in Dare class? Like these guys are all telling me the awesome shit happening from a police officer.
Yeah.
We need someone like Gary to come in. Like, nah, dude, you think this is cool? Check it out.
Their
Like,
class was cool until you fucking went outside and the fucking instructor smoking a joint in his car. Fucking lighting up.
Nah.
Whew, these fucking kids are the most.
Their class worked for me because, like, I remember child of the '80s. I was specifically warned about crack in school.
Yeah.
Like, don't be fucking with no crack.
Yeah.
They never saw meth coming.
The 80s drugs were way higher than ours. It was just like,
The thing is, though,
sell your body. Ours was just like,
I look back though,
Don't
that
smoke weed.
propaganda worked on me because
Damn.
even at the height of being a meth head, I was still better than any crackhead ever. Like, at least I'm
I'd
not
say
on
this.
crack.
meth.
I was wondering when crack hit Nebraska. I was like, holy shit. And then you're like, but they didn't see meth coming, boy.
The next thriller fight. Crackhead, meth head at their fucking peak. Okay, I'm talking about a 6
Which one fights Jake Paul? Which one fights Jake Paul?
they fight over aluminum cans and copper wiring in the middle of the
They
ring.
get on each other's shoulders and fight them like the fucking little rascals, you know, like put a trench coat on.
I know
Guys,
I
you're
did-
spoiling Slap Mountain Season 2 for everyone. Stop it.
Oh, man.
As
When
far
are we
as
going to
Jake
have
Paul-
one of those guys on here? Because the Slap Mountain people,
Yeah,
they
they're
should
known
have.
for their internet. Really?
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm trying, but right now William Hung won't return our phone calls. So that's what we're trying to get up to.
He's not dead.
He's not, yes.
Now he's definitely not calling us back. Damn.
Ironically, I keep trying to get a hold of John Goodman, but I think he's dead too. So I don't know how that works out. You may want to Google that. I'm not sure.
Oh, man. You can't do that to me.
Dude, it sucks.
See if
I
he's
think
up
the last time we saw John Goodman, he wasn't looking too good.
No
So
one
I
bowls
don't-
on. What's he say on the fucking
I
the
wouldn't
Big
be good
Lebowski?
either if I had to deal with Roseanne's shit.
Nobody bowls on fucking
The
I can't
Sabbath.
remember. The Sabbath.
No one-
There you
yeah,
go.
he was, give it up. All right, so I guess we. One thing I want to add, which I thought was funny, there's an old article in 1992 with the Los Angeles Times, and they were actually talking about how all these contestants were actually making it, like we're saying, athletes out of it. These people were actually scoping these things and doing them so much that radio stations were getting pissed and trying to find ways to get loyal listeners to listen more instead of these people. So they referred to them as contest pigs. So I think this is a perfect segue. Are these athletes? Yeah. Hey, is it a sport? Radio contests. Is it a sport? We'll get better at shit after all the stuff. I haven't even been in here most of the time. I lost my whole ring. I had to pawn it off to get back here.
But this stuff is already stopped, right?
Like, is it a sport? Does it take talent to do some of this shit? Because some of this stuff is feats. We mostly just talked about eating whipped cream off shit, but hard bodies, hand-on hard body contests, some of this stuff takes some shit. Like are they athletes? Is this considered a sport?
Number one thing you need to succeed here is a lack of self-esteem.
Well, that's most everyone's on Prozac.
Minimum self-worth.
True.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't answer the question. We all know we're low lives. We're
not
here
a sport.
If they're doing,
athletes,
if you're holding a Wii for 3 hours, for a Wii, we all know you can't afford a Wii, so that probably puts you in a certain financial bracket. So, but what, to me, if fucking mini golf could be an Olympic sport coming up, why can't these guys, at least one of these guys, be considered an athlete? Slap, at least a legend in radio contests. We don't hear about them. I did a lot of research. It was hard because all you could hear about was this the tragedies more than the funny shit anymore.
Yeah. Well, realistically, these dumb people have just, instead of doing contests on the radio, have started an OnlyFans account. So
perfect segue to why I think they need to do more of these. Did you guys talk about the Howard Stern one yet?
Nope.
Howard Stern, this man's a fucking genius in podcasting and just entertainment. Yeah. And this motherfucker found a contest that gives back to the people that need it. You can get your grandfather laid. He did a contest where he got your grandfather fucking laid, and a guy from Illinois actually won, and to get a free trip to the Bunny Ranch. He was scheduled for a threesome because in Illinois, we're going to take everything we can get if you say it's free.
Yeah, that's right.
He definitely had another thing. This is where it gets ironically sad, but quite funny. He actually dies before he could do it because he gets a heart attack or chokes on a steak a block away from the fucking thing. Like literally on the way to live out his dream. He's like, I'll have a sirloin. Shouldn't have had that sirloin.
And at that point, I just put on my grandpa's clothes. I'm now my grandpa. Somebody's fucking tonight. Okay? If grandpa's not up for it, I am.
Well, that's exactly the spirit they had too, because they gave the grandson a free ride at the Bunny Ranch, and he got to take his grandfather's place. Yeah. Where are these fucking contests? People are dying for a shitty Netflix player that you play at home. Where are these guys, Bill?
I'm just happy that they were really whores, and there's finally somebody bringing integrity to their profession. That's what I appreciate.
This wasn't like some fucking. They weren't getting Dustin Diamond hose in here or nothing. No, these were legitimate certified Bunny Ranch motherfuckers.
Absolutely. What? Such good women.
Settle down. I've seen that HBO show. Not everybody on there's smoking.
Everyone's smoking something.
They got somebody for everybody, Bill.
So everybody's interested to see which two he got.
Bill, he's from Illinois. I'm a fucking 7 in Illinois. That should tell you how good the 7s are around here in Illinois. So even if it was a 2.5, he'd be like, oh, God, he would want to marry this bitch and probably bring her back to the cornfields in Illinois.
In Illinois, if you see a 6 outside, you fucking stop the car. Ask her where she's going.
It's true.
I'll let you in on a little secret. I got family in Belleville. I'm familiar with what you guys got going on.
So it's no shock. That's why you didn't say anymore. You just said, I concur. I have family there as well.
It's a fucking county of 3s and 4s around here. That's what it is. It's
a county of 3s and 4s?
If you're lucky. That's how the most numbers start out here. 2, 3, 4. We don't get too much higher.
Absolutely.
They drop a diabetes bomb and everyone fucking lost their shape? What the fuck happened out there?
Doritos have been pretty big for the last 30 years.
They dropped a bomb that only takes toes.
Sponsored by Mountain Dew's new flavor, Pitch Black. They'll take your toes away.
What's happening about You guys, I'm extremely offended being the only diabetic on this fucking podcast.
Shh, I'm diabetic. Shut up, Grinch fingers.
I'm a pre-diabetic, and I've been working
Oh,
hard to
shit.
fucking get my certificate.
I'm an unconfirmed diabetic. I know because I piss 8 times in a night, and I know that's not
Every
healthy.
time I go to my doctor, he's just like pre-diabetic, I'm like, why don't you just call me a bitch already? Okay, I fucking get it. I'm trying. I fucking eat after 12. I fucking wake up at 2, eat something else. My fucking legs go numb. What else do I have to do? It's just not in the cards.
You need to show up
Take
to
his
your doctor.
advice.
You need to show up to your doctor and say, "It's time to take the training wheels off. I'm tired of this pre-shit. Let's go full diabetic.
Yeah.
Let's give me the
Give me the
needle."
good pills
I'm ready to get to it. Fuck.
and roller skates. Just staple them to my feet. Let's go.
At this point, my family's looking at me weird. Everybody's walking around like no leg past the knee. Everybody's fucking limping around, swollen feet and shit. Looking at me walking around. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy?
Welcome to your 30s, dude. Welcome to your 30s. My
trying.
wife comes up to me to touch my legs and my feet to see if I'm holding water.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you need to drink more. You're holding while your feet are swelling.
I had long socks on. My girl, I fucking took them off. She goes, "Up, this is the start." Oh, don't fucking do that. I'm fucking enjoying it. She goes, "Look at that ring around your leg. Yeah, you're gonna die."
I got a different question because, of course, radio contests aren't a sport. None of the people who drink pee should be a sport unless you're fucking married to R. Kelly or something.
Except Gary.
We all know that happening
Except
anymore.
Gary, yeah.
So it's not a sport, but we appreciate your achievements. In this. Let's do this one. Hands on a hard body contest. Who would win out of all of us? Who you got your money on?
Whose hard body are we touching?
Well,
You
of
mean
course,
hands
the
on a
one and
person?
only Matthew McConaughey. What are you talking? Oh, I meant a car. No.
All
like
right,
a Ford
all
Galaxy.
right, all right.
No, like it's a car, like the car in the
A car.
picture. The
What kind of
1950s.
car?
I'm out.
Like we own a fucking car.
This thing.
Anything,
I'm the guy in the red fucking pleading my case. Like, fuck, guys, listen. I got
This
shit.
is my only chance.
Please.
I'm gonna sleep in this car.
I'm
Just
just gonna
let me
keep
have it.
farting. I'm just gonna keep farting until it just gets so fucking terrible in that room
Yeah.
that nobody can fucking stay. I'm
I'm the old lady at the back going, "You want a fart contest? I could give you a fart contest right there. No problem. Ready to do it."
I'm the guy that left because I already have a car and I'm smoking a blunt in the parking lot with Gary.
What are you so
Yes,
communist?
exactly.
Only one car per person there, Bill? Go fuck
I'm
yourself.
like, those guys are sucking up fart fumes, Bill. What the fuck's going on in this world, man?
It's called
They
a
ain't
fart
even going to
war.
be able to pay the property tax on this fucking vehicle to get it legalized.
We
No,
wanna
but hey,
see how
There's
smart
no
they're
property tax on a car.
that's why I want it because
We
nobody.
live in cars around here, Dino. There's property tax on those.
The DMV. Hey, I'm gonna take the car. The DMV won't be seeing me. Okay, I'll tell you that.
All right. All I heard, basically, let me do a synopsis. All I heard is Tank's going to have indigestion. Dino's going to lose his hair because he's doesn't understand what's going on in this world.
That's
And
right.
and Gary and Bill are a bunch of quitter potheads that are going to quit. And that leaves
I thought
me, the
Dino-
champion, right
I
here.
thought
knew
Dino was
somebody.
only doing it if it was a snowmobile.
Why the fuck do you?
Okay, ice road trucker neighborhood.
Hold on. So you're saying Bill will do
wearing that
this
Nissan,
metaphor?
you know?
So hold on. I'm stupid. We all know this hashtag awful host. Are you saying Bill will play in this metaphorical game if it's a snowmobile instead of a car?
Not Bill. Dino.
Dino? Oh, because of the.
Gary thinks I live in an igloo. Okay.
Yeah. You
No,
don't?
just-
What?
You don't? Are you sure? Because
I'm pretty
No,
sure I see your
I live in a
eyes
city
glowing
bigger
from
than
a
all of you
fire.
fucks combined. You bunch of redneck pieces of shit. Okay.
So,
I
so
live in a
the,
real city. You goddamn fucking.
those
Hey,
white
Dino,
bricks
what
behind
is
you
that?
aren't-
white. It was just
That's not ice behind you.
You bunch of fucking honkies.
Matt.
Guys,
No.
guys, leave Dino alone. He's giving me great seal jerky from the border and all the delicacies from the Canadians. So you can't be making fun of him like that. How am I going to taste seal blubber? I mean, I'm married. I can't go date Helen again. So this is the only way I could do it. You're going to ruin my chances.
I know a guy that works in the Yukon. I'm gonna get him to fucking send me some fucking whale blubber. Just
Thank you for confirming that you got to connect on whale blubber. You're like, yeah, I got some. All Canadians
I got a
do.
guy.
I got you.
Listen, I haven't talked to him in a while, but I got a guy.
I got a guy.
I got a guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I do to hide the ice.
I'm glad
Thanks
we
a lot,
found
Serge.
out my
That's right,
skill,
that's
my athlete is standing in one place. And I could probably excel on that by sheer boredom, just because no one the nonsense of it. This might be a thing I can excel at. So I'm kind of
Stand around and do nothing with your hand on something.
yeah. Shit, that says Tim on the resume all day. Most of my factory jobs insisted on that. I just had to move my hand every once in a while.
And you
So
couldn't
limit
resist, you had
that.
to talk to everybody every time.
You know how likable I am. I just gotta talk to them. They'll all fucking leave in droves in 30 minutes. Like, what the fuck's wrong with that guy?
The fuck
I'm gonna cancel his Facebook profile and really fuck up his New Year's show. Like that causes everyone pissed off. All right, guys. I think this is a good stopping point. I'm going to act like I still am a host after this debacle and still have credibility, but we all know that went out the window about 15 minutes in. But I appreciate it. You guys commenting out there, dude, you guys are fucking rocking. We're still working out the chemistry and everything, but I think this was a good show, mostly because I wasn't on it. So look into that however you want to see fit. But before I get out of here, I'm your redneck correspondent host. We got Dino, Foreign Sports, Bill Queen, Alternative Sports, Gary Becker, Combative Sports, and Tank, now our collegiate sports correspondent. Because he's the only one, I think, in the States that has actually went to college out of all of us, or has the future to. Dino, you don't count. You're Canadian. I'm sorry, that's just how that works.
We should
I
talk
did
about
play
our
college
sponsors, too.
football.
So there you go. There you go. And everyone,
Audience
please check.
doesn't get that credit.
We will be
I was just
airing
low
back
angry.
on Tim Lost Comedy next week. I got my account back. If you saw, we will just not be airing in the Pennsylvania area this time. So thank you on that criticism. We'll move forward on that. I do appreciate everyone showing up for Sportz Ballz. If you have anything you want us to talk about, strange stuff, put it in there. Please note, if it's about sports, we don't want to fucking talk about it that much. We only like fringe sports and weird sports stories. If someone's getting knocked out, we want to know how, when, and why. Like Jake Paul, you know how it goes.
How many donkeys were involved?
Right.
Yes.
Also, I'd like to, before I get out of here and let Dino do his thing, a special shout out. Sportz Ballz has been picked up by another network. It was confirmed today. We like to thank Wii's World Podcast Network. I believe that's correct. They will be putting out a special intro and inviting us to the network next, I think Monday, and we'll be going live next week on their network, or at least showing reruns. So Dino, what do we got? Let's give the sponsor reel.
Yeah, so it's just right now we're being sponsored by Eargasm Comedy, which is where we all started, and it's still being broadcast there. So Eargasm Comedy, if you check out our Patreon, you can help sponsor and put together these kind of shows. We definitely want the input of our fans. So by all means, sign up to the Patreon, which you can click on or scan the QR code there. Or if you want to just tip us and help us with the expenses of running everything, we greatly appreciate that. You can hit the Cash App. Or of course, we also are on the D&T network, which is stands for Dino and Tim, where we made a really kick-ass logo, so I really encourage everyone to go to the YouTube. It's D&T Network, but that's our Venmo, so you can always tip us and help us put money back into this because we like doing it, and I think you guys like it too. That's all for me.
Next week, I'll just throw a little teaser out there since everyone was real excited. We'll do season 2 of Slap Mountain. That seems like a good thing. We'll do reviews and talk about Slap Mountain. Bring back Hall of Famer, Sportz Ballz Hall of Famer, Big James Mayhem, and see how that crew in Slap Mountain's doing. And, of course, all the weird news stories that you don't know about in sports. We like to appreciate you guys coming out, and thank you. Please follow Bill, Queen, Gary Becker, and Tank on all their social medias and check them out live. You can see them. They're always performing in their area. You won't regret it. Please check them out.
Dope.
Yeah. See you later, everybody.